Imagine that everything you've been told about fitness so far was fundamentally wrong. No pain, no gain, no sweat, no reward. We believe we have to completely exhaust ourselves, gasp, and suffer to truly be healthy. But science paints a completely different picture. Data from 4 decades reveals something astonishing about the world's best endurance athletes. These individuals have hearts and cells that are 2 decades younger than their biological age. And do you know what they do? They spend 80% of their time training at an intensity so easy it almost feels embarrassing. A brisk walk, a relaxed bike ride, an intensity where you can effortlessly hold a conversation. This is Zone 2 training. But why is this so important for you, even if you're not a professional athlete? The answer lies in a value called VO2 max. It describes how efficiently your body uses oxygen. The research here is ruthless. A low VO2 max is a stronger predictor of early death than smoking, high blood pressure, or diabetes. Those in the lowest fitness category have a 4 times higher risk of death compared to the fittest individuals. Zone 2 is not just light exercise. It is the foundation for this vital metric. In the next few minutes, I will show you why this boring movement is actually the most powerful switch to slow down aging in your cells. To understand why this light training is so powerful, we need to look deep inside your body, right into your cells. There we find something absolutely fascinating, the mitochondria. They are often called the powerhouses of the cell, but they are much more than that. These tiny structures are ancient. They were once independent bacteria that merged with our ancestors over 1 billion years ago. That's why they still have their own separate DNA today. They determine how much energy you have, how clear your mind remains, and most importantly, how fast you age. Imagine your mitochondria as a fleet of engines. Over time, these engines age. They become inefficient, emit harmful exhaust, what we call free radicals, and produce less and less clean energy. As this cellular waste accumulates, what we perceive as aging begins. We feel tired, become more prone to disease, and decline mentally. This is where the magic of Zone 2 happens. When you move within this moderate range, your body sends out a very specific signal. It activates a protein called PGC1 alpha. Think of PGC1 alpha as a general manager for your cells. Once this general takes command, 2 things happen. First, it initiates mitochondrial biogenesis. This means your cells begin to build completely new, healthy mitochondria. Your fleet of engines becomes larger and stronger. Second, it activates mitophagy. This is the cell's garbage disposal system. Your body identifies old, defective powerhouses, breaks them down, and replaces them with new ones. This is not just fitness. It is a biological overhaul from the inside out. While others exhaust themselves in the gym and often only produce stress hormones, you are rebuilding your cellular youth in Zone 2. You are repairing the foundation of your life while seemingly just taking a relaxed walk. Now, you might be thinking, if a walk is so good, then running faster must be even better, right? This is where the trap snaps shut. Most people make a fatal mistake. They train in the so-called gray zone. Imagine you go jogging, you sweat, you breathe harder, you feel like you've worked hard, but physiologically, you've just landed in Zone 3. In sports science, we call this the moderate intensity trap. Why? Because Zone 3 is the worst of both worlds. It's too intense to truly optimize fat burning and your mitochondria at a deep level, but not intense enough to push your cardiovascular system to its limits. You're stuck. The key lies in your lactate levels. In Zone 2, the production of lactate, the byproduct of your metabolism, remains stable. Your body burns almost exclusively fat for energy, but the moment you go just a little too fast, you cross the first lactate threshold, LT1. Suddenly, your body switches to carbohydrates, fat burning drops, and the valuable signals for your mitochondria go silent. The goal is something called metabolic flexibility. A healthy body should function like a hybrid engine. It uses fat for long distances and sugar only for sprints. Those who constantly train in the gray zone lose this ability. They become sugar dependent. True Zone 2 is a precision tool. It's not about how much you sweat, but about teaching your body to efficiently use fat as fuel. When you respect this boundary, you transform your metabolism into a highly efficient machine. But it requires discipline. The discipline to go slow, while everyone else rushes past you. We've talked about cells and fuel, but now let's look at the engine itself, your heart. When you consistently train in Zone 2, something remarkable happens that we call cardiac remodeling. Your heart physically rebuilds itself. Don't think of your heart as just a muscle that needs to beat faster. In Zone 2, your heart learns to become more efficient. The left ventricle, which pumps oxygen throughout your body, increases in volume. It becomes more elastic and can fill with more blood. The result? With every single beat, your heart pumps more blood through your arteries. We call this an increased stroke volume. Why is this a life-extending miracle? Simple. If your heart does more with each beat, it needs to beat less often overall. An untrained heart might beat 80 times per minute just to keep you alive. A heart trained through Zone 2 can do the same with 50 or 60 beats. Your resting heart rate is not just a fitness metric, it is an hourglass for your life. Science shows a striking correlation. Every increase of just 10 beats per minute in resting heart rate is associated with a 9% higher risk of death from any cause. Zone 2 gives your heart breaks. It literally gives your most important muscle more time. It's like optimizing a car engine so that at 100 kilometers per hour, it runs at half the RPM. Less wear and tear, more longevity, and ultimately, more years of life. What if I told you that Zone 2 doesn't just rejuvenate your body, but also literally grows your brain? It sounds like science fiction, but it's pure biology. Remember the general manager PGC1 alpha from your muscle cells? This messenger has a direct line to your brain. When you move in Zone 2, it triggers the production of a protein scientists call miracle grow for the brain, BDNF. BDNF is like fertilizer produced by your body. It protects your existing neurons and helps create entirely new nerve cells and synapses. This is neuroplasticity in action. Particularly impressive is a study from the University of British Columbia. Older adults who performed regular moderate endurance training showed a 2% growth in the hippocampus after just 1 year. The hippocampus is the center of your brain for memory and learning, and it normally shrinks with age. Zone 2 reverses this process. While you walk or cycle at an easy pace, you bathe your brain in a cocktail of protective hormones. You don't just get fitter, you become more cognitively resilient. Your focus sharpens, your memory stabilizes, and your mood improves. Zone 2 is the best insurance against cognitive decline that we know, and it costs you nothing but a little time and motion. Now you know why Zone 2 is the holy grail of longevity. But how do you start today? The good news is, you don't need a lab or expensive equipment. Your body gives you all the signals you need. Forget complicated heart rate charts for a moment. Use the talk test. While moving, you should be able to hold a full, fluid conversation. Not just short sentences, but entire paragraphs without gasping for air. Another sign is nasal breathing. The moment you feel the urge to open your mouth to inhale more deeply, you're already going too fast. Slow down. At first, it will feel almost too easy, and that's exactly when you're doing it right. Science is clear. The magic begins after about 45 minutes. That's the time your cells need to truly initiate deep adaptation processes. Your goal should be 150 to 180 minutes per week. That's about 3 to 4 walks or easy bike rides. Remember, we've been conditioned to believe that fitness means suffering, but true strength lies in consistency, not pain. Zone 2 is not a sprint against time, but a long, peaceful dialogue with your biology. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your body renew itself from the inside out. Your journey to a younger self begins with the next relaxed step.